Crazy ass hair. Crazy ass hair. Crazy ass hair. That's some crazy. I got some crazy ass hair, bro. So here is the tank. Everybody's doing well. Actually, let me turn on this light real quick. I actually have an application for my light just because my timer kind of crapped out on me, and it started turning on and off randomly. So I ended up getting this smart plug that you usually use around your house to turn on like lamps and shit. So I'm using it for my aquarium now. It's called a TP. It's called TP Link, and what it is it's just Wi-Fi smart plugs and Wi-Fi smart bulbs and shit like that. So it just turns on. Sick. I also have it on, I also have it on the schedule too. It just depends on whenever I want it on, and I'll just turn it off on my phone. So giving you guys a little bit of an update on the Bichirs. I'm gonna just start calling them Bichirs. It sounds a little cooler. So here's the lap. Might not be able to tell, but it got pretty. It gained some size. Maybe because I'm using a fisheye lens. So yeah, it gained some size. As you can see here, the one in the back gained some size as well. Oh, there's a big piece of poop right there. Yeah, you can see them interact with each other. There's no more fighting with these guys. They already built dominance. But check out these Enlacuras though. Look at that. Look at the size difference. I think this is the difference between wild caught and captive bred. With these laps, I was told that they were captive bred. They grow kind of slower. But with these Enlacuras, they're a wild caught, so they grew fairly like quick, you know. But that's not even the biggest one. The biggest one is this guy right here. Look at this guy. Let me get a better angle. Let's see, hand for comparison. That's hand for comparison. When I first picked him up, he was only like, I think it was like 2 to 3 inches. But he's gotten huge. There he goes. Swims off. But yeah, that's my biggest Enlacuri, but surprisingly enough, that's not my most dominant. The most dominant Bichir is the one in the back. That one's the one that's the most dominant. No torn fins, attacks everybody, and he's the first to get food. Update on the little Arowana. Whenever he sees like a camera, he'll just sit on the bottom. But once he gets used to it, it acts normal again. It's in the morning, so I'm just gonna feed real quick. This is what I kind of feed them. This is the type of foods that I feed them just because I've had this food from the past, and I'm just trying to use it all up. So Cyclic Gold is what I feed the Bichirs to make them sink. Even though it's a floating type, I just kind of squeeze the water out, or squeeze the air out until it sinks. Bug bites, feed the Arowana. This little Ranchu sinking color enhancing food I feed to the bikers as well. And then this huge bag of Hikari Cyclic Gold I feed to the Bichirs as well. I'm trying to get the Arowana on this food. It's the carnivore floating sticks, but I feel like that'll take some time. I guess the importance of just properly eating right now is more important. And yeah, so the Arowana likes eating krill. So basically what I'll do is I just find like a little small piece like this, and then I'll just chuck it in there. In the breeding box, there's like a little hole. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've actually moved the Arowana to a bigger breeding box. The one that he previously was in was fairly small, just to make sure he was comfortable. But this one's almost double the size, and he has a lot more room to swim. So he'll be in there for a while until he's big enough to actually go into the main tank. So I'm basically gonna feed him now. On the top of the breeding box, there's a little hole. I just kind of slip food in. With the camera there, just in case he eats. There you go. This baby Arowana isn't too picky when it comes to food. I've had, the Giardini, for example. He was picky as hell. He would chew the pellets, spit them out, fuck up the whole bottom, and then it was bad. It was disgusting how that Giardini was. It was very messy, and even with krill, he would just kind of chew it up and spit it out. I had some cherry red shrimp in the Giardini's tank as well, and the thing is, it wouldn't even eat it. It would just kill the cherry red shrimp and just spit it out. So that Giardini was just kind of ruthless. It was just out for blood. Really glad that this specific Arowana is not picky and just kind of eats this krill for now. I'm really against feeding feeder fish, just because I've had past experiences where the feeder fish was sick, and it caused a lot of my expensive fish to have parasites and end up dying. Yeah, no problems eating here. I try to feed him 3 or 4 times a day, but because of work, I'm kind of unable to do that. But I'll feed him twice. I'll feed him once in the morning, once when I come back from work, and then once when I go to the gym, and then once right before I go to sleep. Little by little, though. Now, every time he sees a camera or sees someone, he'll lay on the ground like that. But then once you kind of go away, he'll start swimming. I don't know. Must be a baby Arowana thing or something. A little update on the DIY filter. It's doing really, really good. Actually keeping my water fairly clean. It sucks up all the stuff, and I just need to add another DIY filter on the other side so it can clean up on that side. You can't really tell in the video, but the bottom of the tank towards this side is spotless, but then on the other side there's a lot of detritus and stuff. There's also a lot of poop. As you can see, in the Curais kind of fighting each other. Yeah, this is the dominant one. This was the one that no one really messes with. Nice. Oh yeah, let's feed them. So this is a cichlid gold. No spoons in here? What the hell? Alright, so it's feeding time. What I do is, let's get a spoonful and just dump it in like this. And all the food's right here. And then once everyone knows it's here, then they'll just kind of eventually come over. Let's see if I can record from here. It looks like a lot of food, but I only feed them like this maybe once a week. I don't feed too much. Um, I probably only feed twice a day. Oh, you see, they're kind of munching down. I only feed around like twice a day for these guys, just because they're fairly big anyways. And it's only the baby Arowana that I feed a lot. Once a week, I'll feed them a lot like this, just so you know they actually have the feeling of being super full, which is nice. Them shits look like dragons. Yeah, Bashirs never really get scared of cameras, just because they're known for having horrible, horrible eyesight. They're pretty blind, so watch this. Like, see, like it doesn't even affect them because I don't think they can see that. Bashirs have horrible, horrible eyesight, but when it comes to scent, like smell, no, they're really good. They can like smell food from like, I wouldn't say a mile away, but they can smell food from pretty far. But they're pretty blind. Oh, I think he saw me. I didn't know this at first, but Bashirs actually have like little rows and rows of teeth. I thought it was just like two big ass lips and they just smash food and eat it. But they actually have rows and rows of teeth that they use this to crush like prey and eat food and stuff. Oh yeah, and you also want a really big filter in your tank because look how big their poop is. Eat that. What the hell? Yeah, so I'm just gonna let them finish up their food and I'm not gonna bug them, but let me show you a little update on the sump. Now, nothing much has changed with this sump. When it comes to sumps, if it works, it works, right? There's only so much you can do with the sump. You can add like add-ons, hang-on backs. You can add you can add way more like ceramic media and like filter media, but the amount of biological bacteria that's going to build up on that media is only going to depend on how much fish you have. And with this tank, I only have 5 baby fish in here, so they don't produce that much waste as of right now. But later on, they will. And this is the reason why I actually have something like this, so I don't never have to upgrade ever again. You always want your fish to grow into your filter instead of upgrading later on, because that's going to cost you hell of a lot of money. That's why just go big first and then worry about upgrading later, because you probably won't even need to upgrade. I actually made a YouTube video on this, and it actually had the most views. Yeah, it was my most viewed video, and it was about this filter here. This filter is great. The K1 is basically a self-maintaining system, and then I'm also growing Pothos here for nitrates. I'm not too sure if the Pothos is actually doing anything in regards to sucking out nitrates, but they are growing, and kind of at a fast rate. As you can see, they're kind of growing out the side here. There's a long vine that just kind of just picked up. And the only thing that's kind of lighting up this Pothos is this light right here. So this is just a normal LED light that I made a stand for. Just kind of push it out. It's kind of just mounted to my wall, just so it's kind of in the middle of the plants and it kind of gets everybody. So yeah, that's just a little update on how everything's doing. My filter, my plants, the baby fish, the Arowana. I guess the next video would be probably upgrading my light. This is actually a light I made, I would say maybe around a year or two ago. It's one of those rain gutter LED lights. So you basically go to Home Depot and you get a rain gutter, and you get the caps, and then you just kind of fill it up with LEDs. Right. I had it for a while actually. Oh yeah, I guess I had it in 2016, so 2 years ago, when I had my Pyra. And then you basically just solder up LEDs and put it into the housing. You also have switches in the back to adjust the lighting and stuff. So I have a moon and I have a power. For the moonlight, I need to adjust it a little bit. It kind of messed up. Let me see. So when I switch on the moonlight, only the right side turns on. So I need to wire up my left LEDs to make it work again. So it's just another project I need to do, and I might save it for another video. Oh shit. Yeah, so I just kind of have it hanging up there just so it's out of my way whenever I'm doing maintenance. So I picked up a new camera. It's more of an action camera, just so I can have the versatility of recording on the go. So I'm not really hauling my much larger cameras with me, like the mirrorless camera. I found that it's kind of intrusive, and I can be a lot more discreet with the action camera. I'm actually sitting here editing the videos right now, and I noticed that the details of the action camera isn't too great, but it's clear enough for me to kind of just document the fish and the progress. When it comes to a more detailed video, I'll most likely be using a Canon M6, which is the mirrorless camera. I can get more into details, zoom in, zoom out, things like that. That would be videos like fish feedings. That would be videos like maybe if I were to come across like a bacterial infection, knock on wood, or any kind of diseases that my fish might end up picking up. Might be kind of rare just because I quarantine my fish and I don't feed with feeders, but you never know. So in that case, I'll definitely use the Canon M6. But for these regular videos, I'm going to be using this Yi light. It records 1080p and 60 FPS. But the only bad part is it's super fish-eyed, so it makes all the tanks and all the fish look smaller than it actually is. But as for right now, the Yi light's working for me pretty well. Actually watching the quality of the video right now, and everything looks pretty good. Everything's smooth, and also paired with my stabilizer, the gimbal, it works flawlessly. I noticed when I use the Yi light, when I'm holding it on a tripod, it's very shaky, and I feel as if you guys will probably be like dizzy by the time the video is over. But yeah, I'm gonna continue experimenting with this action camera. More videos coming up, and the next video should be the light upgrade. I should have some time to upgrade my light, and possibly just do like a little DIY video on that. So thanks for watching.